My name is Bernard Salt. I'm a partner with KPMG based in Melbourne. I also hold the role of social editor for the Australian newspaper with 2 columns per week. The issue, as I see it, is that we expect to generate income to support our lifestyle from China, but we're expecting the Americans to provide us with military support, and we are expecting that these two competing world interests will not intersect at any point in the 21st century. I think that we need a bigger view, a world view. We need a decade view of where we are and where we're going. We're in a very different space to the space we've been in over the last 200 years, where our economic interests aligned with our military interests. The Brits in the 19th century, the Americans in the 20th century, even Japan, which was our leading trading partner in the last 30 years of the 20th century, was a primary ally of the US. We are in very different territory. I'm not suggesting that this is a threat in any way. I'm simply making the point that this is a very different world and we need to be aware of that in order to maintain our sovereignty, maintain our independence and maintain our prosperity for generations to come. The opportunities, I think, in Australia are absolutely immense. I would not want to be in any other country other than Australia. The sort of businesses that I think are going to prosper in this country: food, agribusiness with food, energy, resources, commodities. Also the provision of space, security, lifestyle, health services, education services, lifestyle services, if you like. I see a virtual circle, if you like. We feed in to Southeast Asia and China and India, food, energy, resources, commodities. Out the other side comes a demand for space, security, lifestyle, education services, health services, even gaming and gambling services. We will be providing into that market. I see us, Australia, being drawn inextricably into the vortex, if you like, of Asia over the next 20, 30 years. The challenge will be to maintain our geopolitical alliances over that time frame. What is achieved by a conference like this? I speak across Australia more than 100 times a year. I don't see the sort of questions being asked at this conference, at other conferences. Typically at other conferences throughout Australia, perhaps even throughout Southeast Asia, is focused on business opportunity, the here, the now, the next 5 years. With a conference like this, you get up to some altitude and you look at the big picture, the long term. Are we basically in the right space? How are we positioned for the 2020s, 2030s, the 2040s? It's that big picture thinking, high altitude thinking. You don't get the luxury of that thinking at a pure business conference. And I think clearly the Australian people, nation and continent need to be thinking big picture, long term. I just wish there were more politicians here to see the sort of thinking, the sort of vibrancy, the sort of youth and energy that's coming out of exactly this conference. What surprised me, I think, is the youth. Energy and capability, the sheer raw capability of young people in their 20s and early 30s. The scholarship winners, for example. I mean, if these people are the future leaders of this country, we have nothing to worry about. I just hope that they don't turn into middle-aged people by the time they're 40s. Keep their youth, keep their energy, keep their youthful frisson, if you like, because that is what this country needs. It's a fresh approach with fresh energy and a new generation. And from what I've seen today, we're in safe hands. I enjoy the idea of pitching ideas. I started off in consulting, writing consulting reports, and in the 1990s I'd finish a report and give it to the CEO and he'd say, "Oh, that's interesting, what's in it?" He wouldn't read these reports. I learned very quickly that you can have an extraordinary impact by pitching, by presenting. It's a very powerful thing to do, to stand on a stage in front of 400 people and for 15 minutes to present and package an idea. You need to substantiate it, of course, but you have an impact. I like having an impact.